Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for all the lectures. In this opportunity, I'd like to introduce myself. First, my name is Janal Mira, and I'm here because I'm going to deliver my proposal under the title is Developing Supplementary English Reading Material based on Saparua culture on 10 grade students. As you can see in the slide, in the first chapter, there are three main points that I'm going to talk. Background of the study, topic of discussion, objective of the paper. Well, let's move to the first point. Reading as a means of learning English has been known as one of the easiest and most effective ways. That's according to Jordan in 1997. And Starfield 2030 states that by the numerous research that has been done, reading is the skills that students find easiest to learn. Besides being the least difficult, it is also the simplest way for the doors to gain knowledge and enjoy themselves at the same time. That's according to Thanos Code 2011. And in the supplementary reading material, the author used Saparua culture as local content. And the next point is topic of discussions. Well, the goal of the study is to provide the effectiveness reading materials based on Saparua culture, which hope to be helpful for students in learning activities. As students' level and background of knowledge is highly crucial in choosing effective reading materials, but students' interests are also very significant in determining good reading materials. Well, let's move to the last point, objective of the paper. Well, reading materials based on Saparua culture are expected to encourage both students and teacher. Well, for the teacher, the materials are created with some interesting visual based on Saparua Islands culture, which can motivate and inspire the class. And for the students, it might increase their knowledge and make them much proud of their hometowns. And the students also can gain new vocabularies based on the reading material itself. Now let's move to the second chapter, is review of literature. Well, there are 6 points that I'm going to deliver in here. Let's move to the first point, reading skill. One of the most important skills for all language learners is reading. Reading is a very dominant activity that students will encounter in every learning process that can aid their knowledge about what is being read. And the second point is reading strategies. Well, teachers and parents are sometimes overwhelmed by the sheer number of techniques available, but according to Harmer in 1998, there are two effective reading strategies, scanning and skimming. And the next point is reading materials. Well, reading materials, according to Tomlinson Principle 2012, should provide learners with various chances to develop languages, and this output of activities should be constructed in such a way that students may use and practice them. And the next point is reading text. Well, in developing supplementary reading material based on Saparua culture, there are 3 units of materials that created by the author in order to developing the material. Each unit consists by reading material and some exercises to measure students' understanding. The next point is local content. Well, according to Surjan Titi, local content is strongly connected with the word traditions, which may be described as hereditary behavioral traditions, which are still mentioned in the community. The last point is developing supplementary English reading material. Well, the materials are being developed hopefully could improve students' understanding of the learning process. And let's move to the third chapter, is discussions. Well, the author tended to develop new reading materials based on Saparua culture with the opportunity to engage and motivating students in the learning process. Saparua Island, the story of Gua Air Putri, and Drustede Fort are the chapters included in these developed reading materials. Each chapter contains reading materials that are relevant to students' everyday lives, and it provides a descriptive text, narrative text, and a historical recount text. Well, as you can see on the last slide, this is supplementary reading material and some exercises that the author created to measuring students' understanding. Well, as you can see, this is the story of Gua Air Putri in Saparua Island. And for the exercise, the students asked to create a simple narrative text by using their own words. And there are also multiple choices in order to measuring students' understandings about the material itself. Well, I think that's all my presentations for today. Thank you so much.